The first expression of Libra is learning. And we have a sense in Libra of finding that perfection of balance, the balance of all things in a dynamic sense is what would give rise to perfection. This sense of harmony that's implied within Libra because of its Venus ruling planet is studied in Sufism, and the teaching here is that the perfection of love is harmony, and the perfection of harmony is beauty. And we have a sense here of the butterfly pinned with the dart through it in Libra 1, of someone trying to capture beauty, and yet it is by its nature ephemeral. It isn't something that you can hold and crystallize and measure and have. It's not like that. It's dynamic. It's momentary. And yet, each particular best version for the moment that we can think of, like a butterfly, the most beautiful of animals, we hold on to that as an ideal. And we understand that we're an imperfect example of an ideal. And we try to move forward. And we go to Libra 2. And the idea of moving forward is captured here on a sort of sense of the species level. The sixth plane mutating to the seventh, or the sixth race mutating to the seventh. The sense that we can actually wake up as a species. If each of us regards ourselves as imperfect and looking towards becoming the ideal of who we are, then collectively the species will do that, and will move from this current level of consciousness that's evidenced by what's going on in the news all of the time, and we can actually raise our game as a species and can move to the next plane. These numbers 6 and 7 were studied within Theosophy 100 years ago or more. Now, the dawn of a new day, Libra 3, everything changed. Gives you this sense of what can happen, not only to the species. We were hoping, I suppose, those of us who are studying the mysteries, we're hoping that one day the human species will wake up to its spiritual inheritance. And yet we don't have to wait for the species to do that. We can do that individually. These are shifts that occur from time to time, not often. They're called maqam shifts in Sufism, where you just have a eureka experience or something happens and you just see. You see more. You can understand the mystery of life more clearly. Everything's changed. And it can be instantaneous. You can wake up in the morning and your life is different. I've had 2 such experiences in my lifetime. Immeasurably better than anything else that's ever happened to me. It's wonderful. So we can do this personally, and the species must be doing this as a whole. And this is obviously created by individuals doing it in large numbers. Now, Libra 4, a group around the campfire, is to do with what happens when a group of people all share the same circumstances and the same aspirations and the same rhythms of life, and rhythms of breath even. That there emerges from this bunch of individuals a group consciousness, where each of us can actually experience ourselves not only as individuals, but also as a group. We know ourselves to be a group. And this is, I think, something of the mystery of the transmutation from the 6th race to the 7th race. We have to understand that we are part of a group consciousness as well as being an individual member, individual consciousness within the group. But we have to access that group awareness for us to move to the next level. We practice that first by trying to understand the other person that we're relating to at the moment, get their point of view. And if we do that multiple times within the context of a group, then we ascend to this higher level of awareness. And that's when we know more. That's when we see more of the meaning of who we are, the meaning of life, the meaning of God. We do that by accessing group consciousness. So we're learning how to move, how to shift our state of mind in order to expand and grasp higher realities. And Libra 5, the man teaching true inner knowledge. The true knowledge cannot be explained. It cannot be gifted to another. True knowledge can only ever be embodied oneself. So a true teacher shows, doesn't tell, he shows or she shows. This is the way I'm living. This is how I feel. This is what I see. Here, look at me do it. And if you are a teacher, and to some extent we all are, then it isn't any good to tell the kids what to do. You've got to show them. They won't grow up to do what you tell them. They'll grow up to do what you did. True teaching is shown, not explained. So in this first batch of 5 degrees, the Libra expression of learning begins by understanding that we're imperfect, and yet there is a perfection of ideal to follow. And we go through the process to understand that has something to do with awakening group consciousness and showing other people that you can, that you've done that.